Hi everyone, it's Emily. I hope you're all doing as well as possible. I'm so excited for today's video. Fall is like my total jam. So today we're going to be coloring in some really cute and cozy autumn style doodles. If that sounds fun to you, then I hope you will join me. Grab some paper and let's just jump right in. So off camera, I added some washi tape to the border of my paper. You know, if you've been here before, you know how much I love a little extra pizzazz, so I thought it would just add a little extra flair. I just want to show you a close-up of the drawings because they're so light. Once you put the alcohol marker over the pencil lines, you can't erase them anymore, so I tend to leave them pretty light. I'm working in a sketchbook that's designed for markers. You really want to use more like a Bristol style paper or a marker paper when using alcohol markers. If the paper's too porous, it'll drain the ink in the markers really quickly. I've already picked out the markers that I'm going to use today. I tried to pick up some fall colors and they match the washi tape. And I've already, as I showed you, I've already swatched those out. That way, as I continue to grab them, I already know what the color is, so I don't have to kind of mess around with that too much. I generally pick at least 3 colors in like the same family, like 3 different shades, so that I can build up contrast. So I'm working left to right in my book just so I don't smear anything. And first up is an acorn, which I added because it's super fall, and I just wanted to represent the ridiculous squirrels in my yard. They are so annoying. They keep eating the bird food, they keep digging my plants, and like a month ago, one of them like tried to get through my screen door into my room, and I thought I was gonna have a Christmas vacation moment when I walked into my room and there was gonna be a squirrel in there freaking out. I'll just keep trying to make nice with them until I figure out how to create an extra large launch pad for them. If anyone has any tips about that, I'd love to hear about it. I decided to add just a simple fall leaf, but I love that red color. I feel like it really pops off the page. Right now I'm going to color everything in with just a first layer, and then I'm going to go back in and add the details. When it comes to alcohol markers, it's layers, layers, layers. So in order to really blend them, you have to A, work fast, and B, if you use a color that's super, super dark, then you're just gonna have to use a lighter and maybe a mid-tone to kind of offset that and keep going layers and layers and layers until they're blended together. I'll link a previous marker video where I show all the layers that I do in order to blend everything. I really like how it turned out, but you'll be able to see a little bit more than in this project because this is just more doodly. So now onto the teapot and talk about pizzazz, right? I love the purple color that I chose. I decided to add the purple because it was in the washi tape, and I ended up really liking it. I think it's a great addition to the entire spread. And I included a teapot because I may or may not have a hot tea addiction. I don't think I'll ever be able to drink all of the tea that I own. I probably should go through it because I'm sure some of it's probably like so old. But I love it, especially in the cooler months. I drink a lot more of it, but I even drink it in the summertime. I don't like cold tea, which is kind of funny, but I love hot tea. I can't get enough of it. So I think my favorite is peppermint, and then a local tea shop that is around here has Nutcracker Rubios, and oh my gosh, it is so good. It is my favorite, and luckily they've had it the last several years, so whenever I've went to get more, they still have it. Definitely a recommend if you ever come across a Nutcracker Rubios tea. Definitely check it out. I think it'll be worth your while for sure. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite tea or if you have any recommendations. Not that I need to buy anymore, but I sure do love it, so I'm all for recommendations. I'm going to be showing you, there's a plastic sheet I'm going to put in between the pages. That just protects it so that it won't bleed through to the other page. Most marker sketchbooks will come with one of those, and a lot of the alcohol marker sets will also come with a plastic sheet. They're really handy. Another thing that I wanted to mention is with alcohol markers, you really want to pay attention to the directionality that you're going. So you want to try to keep with the flow and like the contours of whatever the subject is that you're coloring in. So I had to include one of my favorite plants, which is rosemary. I have it planted in my garden, and I also have it in a pot that I keep by my front door. I had to bring it inside the other day because the stupid squirrels wouldn't stay out of it. I just love the smell of it so much, and it actually has protective qualities. And one of my favorite quotes is from Practical Magic. Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. plant lavender for luck and fall in love whenever you can. I just love that so much. Practical Magic's one of my favorite movies. So nothing screams cozy more than a nice little cozy scarf, so I had to add one of those. And it reminded me that I had tried like hand knitting one with one of those looms a few years back, and it was one of those like, they're like all connected and everything, and I still wear it to this day. I mean, it is a mess probably, like it is not done very well, but I absolutely love it. It's just so cozy. And then I wanted to add a maple leaf. It's not the best looking maple leaf I've ever drawn in my life, but I get the point. I know what it is, so I'm happy with that. And again, I love that red color so much. It's so pretty. And I think red is definitely one of my favorite fall colors. I mean, I love the yellows too, but the reds and the oranges are so beautiful. I thought a piece of pumpkin pie was necessary when, you know, thinking about fall, although I think a piece of apple pie would have been really good too, because I'm actually more of an apple pie person over pumpkin pie. I do love like a pumpkin spice latte, but I'm not really a big pumpkin pie person. But apple crisp, actually I'm more of like a crisp person, so give me an apple crisp any day of the week, and that I'm super happy with. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite pie, or if you have any delicious pie ideas. So of course I had to draw a pumpkin. I absolutely love drawing and painting and coloring in pumpkins, especially like the gourd type pumpkins, the ones that are, you know, not perfectly round. And I even like the ones, every year I try to find one that's got like all the warts on it and everything. I just love those so much. And then sometimes I like to decorate them like by cutting them out and making jack-o'-lanterns. Sometimes I just like to paint them, and then sometimes I just leave them alone, or I'll kind of do a little bit of all three. What about you? Do you have a preference of decorating them just the plain pumpkins, or do you like to create jack-o'-lanterns, or do you leave them out and then cut the jack-o'-lantern right before Halloween? A lot of times I will not cut mine up if I'm going to make the jack-o'-lanterns until closer to the 31st. That way the squirrels don't completely annihilate it, and I can pop a couple candles in it, like for trick-or-treaters and stuff. I just love decorating with pumpkins. It just makes me feel like there's fall in the air, and that's my favorite. I think I did like 5 layers for the pumpkin in order to really get it blended how I wanted it to be. I spent the most time coloring in the pumpkin more than anything else, but I think it's so pretty, and I really, really enjoy how it turned out. And then I had to include a caramel apple because A, they're delicious, and B, I just think that they look really cool whenever I draw them. I did a really cool mixed media piece of the poison apple from Snow White. I'll have to show you guys that sometime. Maybe I'll make it a tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to show you how to make that. It was really, really fun. But personally, I would prefer to cut my apple up and then dip it in caramel sauce. But caramel apples look so delicious. Like when I see them at the store, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get one so bad. And I do sometimes, but for the most part, I really just like to cut it up and dip it, and then I can just get as much caramel as I want per piece. You get more caramel per capita or whatever when you're eating it, whenever you just dip it in. So I really like that quite a bit. What do you prefer? Do you like caramel apples? No, yay, nay? I added some like little berries just kind of as filler, and then I'm going to move on to a little mushroom scene that I drew. I have painted and drawn so many mushrooms as well. I love mushrooms. I take pictures of them all the time whenever I see them, if I'm out on walks and stuff. I don't know how many pictures I have of mushrooms, but it might be a little bit of another obsession that I have. This one is, I think, the fly agaric. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but that's like the one that most people seem to kind of gravitate to when they're drawing them, with the red cap and the little white bumps. Have you ever gone mushroom hunting? I've gone like once or twice with my dad to find the morels. Whenever he finds any, I'm super excited, but it seems like less and less we're able to find them because so many people know about them now. And if you want to try to get some at the grocery store, it's ridiculous. At our grocery store, they were selling like 10 to 20, maybe 15, I don't even know, in the package. And it was like $25. And they were like all shriveled up. Like, I can't believe anybody would even pay that. I feel like there has to be somebody out there in the world who can make it so we can just plant morel mushrooms. I actually heard a conspiracy theory once about somebody having invented it and then they disappeared, so who knows, but they are delicious, so I sure wish I could get my hands on some kind of way to plant those for myself. And then honey is another thing. As an avid tea lover, honey is like another thing that's my jam. I like flavored honey. One of my friends is a beekeeper, and she gives me honey sometimes, and I think that is so sweet, and it is so good. And then to be able to just get honey that's local instead of just at the grocery store is really cool too. A lot of times I'll try to pick it up at a farmer's market or, you know, something like that. I'd like to try different ones. I've tried wildflower honey. Oh my gosh, they have this hot honey at the store at Costco, and oh my gosh, I love it. Like with chicken, it's so good. I love it so much. If you don't like spicy, then you might not like it, but I really enjoy it. And then I wanted to also include an apple slice, although whenever I colored the red part in, it got a little bit fat because I put too much pressure on the nib, so it just looks like it has a big fat thick skin, and that's okay. I love how when you cut an apple in slices like that it looks like there's a little star pattern with the seeds, so that's why I decided just to draw it like that, because I think it's super cute that way. And speaking of things that maybe I have too many of, if you can never say you have too many of, is candles. I love candles, and I love burning them so much more in the fall because it's obviously not hot in the house or anything. Like just the glow of a candle and the scent of a candle. My sister turned me on to this candles by Goose Creek. They're soy candles, which is actually better than Bath and Body Works because I think theirs are paraffin, so they burn dirty. But anyway, oh my gosh, they have like Little Debbie and cute little Care Bears and strawberry shortcake. If you haven't found Goose Creek candles, do yourself a favor and go look them up. They actually had a really good deal a few weeks back, but the scents that they have are absolutely ridiculous, and they're like a really high quality product. So not sponsored or anything, I just wanted to share with you how much I love those. But the reason I made the candle the shape that I did is just simply because I already had so many like circles, and like the cup looks like it could be a candle, so I just wanted to create it in a different shape just for aesthetic reasons. And then for the cup, I mean, obviously I've already said I love hot tea, any warm cider, hot cocoa, any of those, even a pumpkin spice coffee, whatever you want to be in the cup is in the cup. And then I put some whipped cream on it, which anything that's white, I've been coloring in with just, it's a warm, a super light gray color, just to add a little bit of like shadows in, since the page itself is white. So the last thing I'm gonna color in before I start adding details is very controversial. And I would love to know in the comments if you're yay or nay on the candy corn. It would seem that people either love it or hate it. I personally love candy corn, and the little pumpkins, the little mallow pumpkins. Oh my goodness. Every year I'll buy a bag of candy corn and then a container of peanuts. So if you haven't tried those mixed together, that taste like a payday, so good. Now I try to only do that once per season because I'll make myself sick. So I try not to do it very often. And now I'm going in with a gold Posca pen to add all the details, kind of put in some outlines. And I really like how it turns out. It just gives it this nice shine, and it just really pulls it all together with the really nice warm fall colors. So I really want to talk to you guys about a fall bucket list. I know there's like a ton of different bucket lists on Pinterest, which is where I love to go get like a ton of ideas. A few things on my bucket list are going for a picnic, which I haven't done forever except for when I'm camping. I want to make some homemade apple cider. A lot of times I'll buy apple cider and then I zhuzh it up in the crock pot, adding orange slices and cinnamon sticks. But I kind of want to try maybe making it from scratch. If not, I'm super happy just buying some local apple cider and then, dolling it up a little bit. There's a couple parks in my area that I really, really enjoy, and I love to go out and take walks. Connecting with nature is another thing that really fills my soul. Just being able to walk outside without my shoes on and just, getting in touch with Mother Nature and being able to kind of feel grounded. And I love doing that at local parks, surrounding myself with the trees and the beautiful flowers and just the wildlife and the noises and everything. So being able to go out regularly and just view how I love seeing all the beautiful warm colors that fall brings. It makes me just feel cozy, which is another reason why I really wanted to create this fall in my sketchbook. A sketchbook can be a really great place to, track time, track what you're going through, draw what you're feeling, what the seasons are. It's like its own like little journal. I mean, art journaling is a huge thing. I draw off of emotions. So a lot of times whatever I'm feeling or what I'm going through is what I'm going to work on in my sketchbook, or any paintings I'm doing or working on. Just I tend to work off of what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And right now I'm feeling extremely cozy, and I wanted to create this really fun and I think adorable fall doodle page. And as I said before, I'm not really a pumpkin pie person, but I really want to make some apple crisp. I made a pear crisp a few years ago. It was really, really delicious, but I love apple crisp. So I plan on making that in the next couple of weeks. And of course I want to decorate for fall and for Halloween. I actually just recently purchased some really beautiful pumpkins that I was able to put out, and I've already begun putting some mums out. I love the change of the season and all the new rich warm colors that fall brings. I also look forward to having cozy campfires and making some s'mores. We have a fire pit in the backyard, which I don't utilize as much as I really should or could. So I really want to take advantage of that during this fall season. And I'm super into crock pot season. I mean, I know you can use a crock pot anytime, but I love being able to just put food in the crock pot and then having it nice and being able to smell the aromas all day. Italian beef and pork sandwiches, and then I love chili, and I make a potato chowder, which I absolutely love. It's baked potato chowder, so I bake the potatoes first and then make the chowder. Mwah, chef's kiss on that one. It's so good. And when thinking about food, it's a great time to celebrate the last of the year's harvest. So I had a lot of jalapenos this year, so making poppers, a lot of tomatoes. So I already canned one batch of spaghetti sauce for the first time, which is really exciting. And I've been trying out poblano pepper recipes. I still want to can some jalapenos and maybe try making some pizza sauce. So it's really fun to start incorporating anything that you might have from your garden as well. And on a personal note, I really want to create a personal bucket list where I want to begin kind of practicing better self-care. I feel like with the way the world is right now, and especially the United States, which is where I live, is in just such turmoil, that I can have a lot of anxiety and, deal with some pretty heavy depression. And I want to try to check that in myself and be setting myself up in the best way that I can to protect myself and just continue working through my own feelings and issues with journaling, exercising regularly, working on eating a cleaner diet. I mean, I have a sugar addiction. I'm going to just put that out there. It's not easy. It's everywhere. So that's a tough one for me. And then I love working with the phases of the moon. So I just want to continue doing that and exploring, some self-growth and creating some daily and long-term goals, because I'm, building my art empire over here. So I want to, keep plugging away at that and just really, find some happiness. I know that there's seasonal, depressions and things like that. That's not really what I'm dealing with right now. It's like I said, it's more just because of everything that's going on in the country and in the world. It's a little bit overwhelming. So I just need to make sure that I'm focusing on that. And I would love to hear if, what you do for self-care and any fall traditions that you have, or recipes, or just anything that really makes you happy or kind of speaks to your soul during the fall season. I want to thank you for watching this week's video. And for everyone who tunes in each week, I just want to give you an extra thanks. It means a lot to me, and it really does help my channel. And, I'm just trying to build a community here of other people who love art and just want to find other people who want to bring joy into the world and kindness and just be supportive of one another. And that's really what I'm wanting to do. Next week, I plan on painting a watercolor kind of autumn scene with some really nice, bold, rich colors with some trees. And I haven't worked it completely out yet, but that's my plan for next week. So I really hope you'll come back and check out that video as well. And then I have some really cool ideas coming up for the Halloween season. More information to come on that, and I hope that you'll come back and check on that as well. And at any time, if you have any ideas or things that you'd like to see, please drop that in the comment as well. I'm open for trying new things. It's Emily's art journey, and that's what I'm here to do. It is to continue growing as an artist and trying new things and letting you know what works for me and what doesn't and what I enjoy, and just having fun along the way. I know this video got a little bit more rambly than maybe I had intended to, but I just really like talking to you, and I want you to get to know me as a person, and I hope to get to know you guys as well. Thank you again so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm sending you so much positive, loving, healing energy for the coming week, and I'll meet you back here next Wednesday. Bye.